Cool, cool. Before we do, Francisco, you want to share that win, man? Come on, give us something. Give us something here.
Ooh, inspired, yo.
Dude, come on, man. I'm celebrating. What's good? Tell us.
Ah, man. Well, what happened is I had this deal on the plate, and it was to be a fractional CMO for a company, but it's not in my niche. So when I jump on a call with you, Jordan, it was not done yet. But you told me, make sure that you protect your time and just basically do what you have to do, bring everything to the table, but make sure you hire the right people and like not spend too much time on that. So what happened is that's exactly what I did. And I closed a contract for 6 months, and I closed a $10,000 deal for 3 months. And that's to be collected in 30 days.
Sheesh. Scale back your time, man. Scale back your time. Oh, that's awesome, man. I just wanted to start off with that because, as we begin to share these wins, the biggest thing for me that I've been a part of these communities is just to see that it's possible. Someone like me has done it. That's all that I need to know, right? So thank you for sharing. And as we begin this journey of all of us scaling back our time, please share the wins because it just shows the rest of the people in the community and also validates kind of what you did, that things are possible. I can do it. And if I could do it, I could do it again, right?
Yeah, no, it's amazing, man. I feel really good about that. And it's a different approach with like the fulfillment aspect of it. Now it's more about building the right team for my client.
Yeah.
But the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to hire people as if it was my team. So now in my head, I can reuse these resources in different projects and maximize profits from people I actually trust. So that's kind of my plan on that.
That's what I do, right? It's working. Awesome. I don't want to monopolize everyone's time here, but I just wanted to share the good vibes, right? So let's go dive into it. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, bro.
Cool. So today is all about scaling content creation with your authority funnel, right? And Francisco, I'm looking at you. Take that dopamine rush, translate that into your content. I think now's the best time because now you're like all jazz and stuff. And I'm like, if you create content today, it's probably going to sell after this call, especially.
It was my birthday yesterday.
There it is, man. There it is.
I chose to sign with you.
Oh, well, dang. Happy birthday, man. Belated. And thank you. Just to touch up on this, just for people that missed yesterday and the day before, or anyone watching the recording, what's the authority funnel? It's using content to attract and engage your dream clients. And we use strategic content that sells people on your high ticket services before you even say the price. Key components: top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. And just because it's not on the slide, this framework holds true no matter the tool. And I say this because a lot of people get like, they hold on to the notion of school, or they hold on to the notion of, I don't know, GHL or something. It's not the tool, it's just the framework, right? All it is we are giving value first, and then we're using some form of long form pieces of content to overcome objections, address any limiting beliefs, and help sell people on our services before we even say the price. Does that make sense, guys? Cool. And the importance of the authority funnel. My main goal for everybody here, sorry, there's people entering late, one sec. My main goal for everybody here is to wake up to DMs of people asking you to work with you, right? If you're not waking up to DMs of just people saying, hey, Jordan, how can I work with you? Or hey, Francisco, how can I work with you? Something is off with your content, right? Something is off. And to truthfully scale back your time, it's my mission to get you guys on less sales calls, right? For the people here with kids, like we can't be getting on back-to-back calls, even though technically I am here on this workshop, right? But it's once in a blue moon. But that's no way to live our lives. That's no way to spend time with our families and whatnot. So my goal for you, for everybody here, is to get on less sales calls, but to make more sales. And how do we do that? How do we scale back our time? Is through the content, through the authority funnel, right? So content done right leads to consistent inquiries and engagement, simply because everyone that is not in this group does the push method. Book an appointment. You need this now. You should be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that, right? They're not coming at it from a position of authority and saying, here's how I did this, right? So that's how we start to separate ourselves from the crowd and truthfully build a niche of one. I know Anna mentioned something to me personally where it's like she was having a hard time crafting an offer and really differentiating herself, but she communicated, like, even to the mindset videos where we were talking about the niche of one, like, you are the offer. That's how you truthfully swim in a blue ocean, and it makes it way easier for you to create content that's polarizing, that pulls people in, if you truthfully believe that. And I believe everyone here has that capability. Building authority and trust with your audience is the main goal, right? And screenshot of someone like selling through DMs, right? Again, I do this not to show face, but to just show you I'm a normal dude, right? I'm a father. I'm an online business owner just like you guys. I've done it. So can you, right? That's it. So, this is new for everyone here in the group. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I actually came up with this yesterday, and I was like, oh, this is a great idea. We should just do this in the community. Typically, when I use Riverside, and for those of you who don't know, it's how I scale content creation for my consulting clients, where I just ask them questions via Riverside. And the cool thing about it is it downloads natively on your machine. So it's like 1080, even to 4K. You can download just singular files of the individual or both. It cuts it up into clips for social media already. But typically an hour video yields around 40 pieces of 1 minute content. And if you guys have known me for a while, I'm very unstructured. I'm like just conversationally saying it. But what I posted into the group is, how you guys can scale your own content creation is just to collaborate with other community members and just say, hey, I'm looking for someone to partner up with where we just interview each other. And if an hour video yields 40 pieces of content for me that's unstructured, I've given you guys a question framework here to interview. At the very least, an hour video of you guys interviewing each other should yield 20 pieces of 1 minute video content for your authority funnel, right? So how to do that, Corey did that. So whoever wants to take up Corey to partner up with him, is all you need to do is post that you're looking for someone to interview, choose the category of content interview request, and then just begin collaborating. And I recommend using Riverside. You don't necessarily have to do that. I just choose to do it because of the quality. And also it has AI capabilities that already create these clips for social media. Does everyone understand that? Cool beans, cool beans. Wanted to start off with that because I think that's the, if we're talking about scaling back your time and scaling content creation for your authority funnel, this quite frankly is like one of the best ways that I feel. And if you're doing this possibly on a weekly basis, you will literally outperform your competition. Point blank, right? So utilize the community. Cool. So for your own pieces of content, we're going to go over Jenna Hoyas's viral scripting method. And I'm going to break this down for you. Rajdeep, I was telling, this is the person that I was asking you about yesterday, because I know you're a YouTuber already. So I wasn't sure if you knew this person, but for context, she's like a viral shorts person, right? She's getting like millions of views per short. And she did like an interview of her breaking down her content strategy.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh, cool. And I've broken it down for you, and I'm going to show you examples of what I do. And I've broken it down, this like hour-long video, into like this slide. So here you go. Oh, you saw the interview. Sweet. So key tips, right? Especially if you're doing like YouTube Shorts, which I definitely recommend. And you guys already know that YouTube is already a part of the authority funnel, is we focus on the first frame of the video. Here's why. Especially on YouTube, on mobile, it pre-plays, making the thumbnail not as important anymore, right? So now there's visual components to that. There's editing components to that. And, strategically, I've told you guys yesterday where, we do need to test out professional videos, iPhone-esque qualities as a part of our content mix to not be perceived as ads and too much, right? But still hold these frameworks, especially with a grain of salt, right? So the first frame, the first 3 seconds are crucial to get people to click and to increase click-through rate, especially on YouTube. Again, if you're doing YouTube Shorts, and Rajdeep, if you have anything to contribute, feel free, because I know you're killing it on YouTube. Those are critical. Sorry, someone say something?
Yes, I think the first few seconds are the most important. And with my experience of creating so many videos, this is my recommendation to all the people who want to create content. Just focus your 60 to 70% of your time in creating the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Just put most of your time creating the hook. Because if you do not grab attention in first 3 to 5 seconds, they're not gonna watch your video. They're just gonna leave the video. So let's say you have some great idea in between the video, but your hook is not that strong. There's no point of you working that hard to create the whole video. So put all your effort into just hooking them.
100%. That holds true for you. That holds true for your clients' ads, right? So it's a good thing to practice this even for yourself, because it's a good to, at least for me, like I like to like prove stuff for myself before I like to teach it. This is why I did like the whole like school funnel and stuff like that. I wanted to vet that for your specific use case. So one of the another way of saying it is focus on the hook on yourself, because if you can land the hook for yourself, you can land the hook for your clients, right? Cool. So the mechanism needs to be enforced and highlighted, right? What's the mechanism? The mechanism is designed to have the viewer rewatch the video, and it consists of the hook, the foreshadow, and the transition, right? Again, I'm going to go through this conversationally on the slide, and then I'm going to show you a live example. So the hook. Here's an example, right? Facebook banned direct response semaglutide ads. So I'm going to make an educational video to convince them to get them approved, right? So that's the hook and foreshadow. So the hook is like, oh, I'm a med spa clinic owner. I'm getting my ads disapproved. You've hooked me in, right? Foreshadow. So I'm going to create an educational video ad to convince them to get it approved. One might think that I'm just, saying what I'm doing, but strategically, I'm giving you the dream outcome, and based on data, based on what Jenna Hoya is setting, and I can validate that based off like my own ads. It tends to increase retention because their curiosity is satiated. So they already know what they're getting, and if we've done a good job of hooking them in, they'll watch the whole video. At least from a conversion standpoint, it increases that. Does that make sense? Or sorry, retention standpoint, it increases that. Does that make sense? Cool. Transition. So I filmed it illegally, right? This is just a fun way of doing like a pattern interrupt. Is it illegal? No, it's not. But it's a way to like just do that pattern interrupt that we were talking about on previous calls that just snaps them back into the reality and also increases retention, right? So the hook is designed as a pattern interrupt to capture someone's attention. The foreshadow gives viewers something to expect based off what they want, and they'll receive what they want based on watching the video in its entirety. The transition is done in a way where it does not break pacing. So what that means is like, I could say, Facebook banned direct response ads. So I'm going to make an educational video ad to convince them to get them approved. Here's step one, right? Here's step one kind of breaks pacing. Do you guys see that? But if I say, Facebook banned direct response semaglutide ads, so I'm going to make an educational video ad to convince them to get them approved. I filmed it illegally, right? So I focus on tonality there. There's a pattern interrupt there, and I'm not like pausing and I'm like, here's step one. That holds true for sales as well, and we'll get into that today actually. But anything that we do, we want to keep the same pace as to not break pacing, because what that does is that snaps them out of kind of the reality that we're creating in terms of a selling scenario or an entertainment scenario or whatnot, right? It's almost like, the best way I could describe it is if you're watching like a really good movie and time slows down, you don't even know what's going on, you're like really in tune with the movie the whole way through. That's kind of what I'm talking about here. Does that make sense? Cool.
So you want the same pacing with different enunciation, or you want pacing in certain spots and then an interrupt with the whole thing and then back into the pacing?
What I mean about pacing is not necessarily cadence, if that's what you're talking about.
No, so cadence, what I mean is like you can speak a little bit differently, right? Like up or down, or emphatically, but pacing is just like keeping the same kind of like almost a train of thought going.
Yes, that's what I mean. That is exactly what I mean.
Okay, so you keep the same pacing, but you interrupt it with, I filmed it illegally, or something like that, or something like.
Well, what I'm trying to communicate, and thank you for asking because it makes me better. When I say, so I filmed it illegally, doesn't break pacing is what I'm trying to communicate. If I said, here's step one.
Okay, if you just did a hard interrupt and you kind of like you're spelling it out, people are gonna roll their eyes and kind of.
Right. Exactly. Right. And here, and I'm going to show you a live example, but the whole purpose of especially this top of funnel is to attract our ideal clients and show them the possibilities, right? For them to go to the long form middle funnel piece of content, right? So if we break pacing on the top of funnel, they might not go to the middle of funnel. What you guys already know, the authority funnel is all about pushing them through, right? So there's entertainment value there. There's elements of storytelling there. A big thing that I like to kind of just have in my back pocket is like the hero's journey. If you guys know what that is, right? So I try my best to not break pacing in top of funnel as to push them further down the authority funnel. Is that a better description, Corey?
Yeah, much better. Hero's journey, you mentioned that. That would be top of the funnel or middle of the funnel?
That would be top of funnel, right? So I like to communicate like the hero's journey in this like minute video, and then I tease it, but then the elements still apply of like, here's my story, here's like here's the crossroads that I had to endure, here's my epiphany, here's what life is like now, right? And then I push them to middle funnel where I can go more in depth on that. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, cool. I want to reiterate, Corey, thank you for that. Anyone that is unclear, challenge me, because it, again, causes me to get better on just teaching this stuff, right? So thank you, Corey. And a good way to not break pacing is but therefore storytelling, right? This is from Jenna Hoyas, 100%, and then I'll show you a live video of how I implemented it, right? So traditional storytelling. I went on a walk. Then it started to rain, so I went home, right? It's traditional. An example of but therefore could be, I went on a walk, but it started raining. Therefore, I started running back home, and it was raining all over me. But good thing I had a handy umbrella on the way back. Therefore, I got home, right? So it's just it's a way to not break pacing, but to be more engaging in terms of the story, right? But therefore. And if that doesn't make sense, I'm going to show you a live video, right? Let me find a good one. All right.
Hey, Joel,
Just a consulting. Oh, yeah.
just a quick question, man.
Yeah.
Is this the book you're talking about? The hero's journey.
Oh, no. The hero's journey is just like a concept of storytelling.
But I think it comes from this.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. The first time that I heard of the hero's journey is how George Lucas created Star Wars. That's the first time I heard of it. I don't know if it came from a book. I just know I was introduced to the concept through that, and then I just began to, kind of dive deep into YouTube. I'm not sure if it's a book, but yeah, I don't know. Oh.
It's actually a recording of two screenwriters, and they talk about the hero's journey, and I think that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
It's like an old school recording where it goes through the hero's journey, and anyways, if you guys catch this audible.
Yeah, I think Scott said Joseph Campbell is the one who created it. Is what he said. But pro tip though, here's what I did. I was just like on ChatGPT, because I've given the concept, like all the context. I was like, hey, create the hero's journey for myself based off everything that you've learned about myself. Right. So pro tip. If you don't want to listen to that recording, Francisco, because it takes a while. Just get back your time, man. Remember? All right. I'm going to play this. Consulting because I love monthly recurring revenue as an agency owner. So I decided to see if I could still get that monthly recurring internet money as a consultant. I ended up working less and charging more because I asked my agency clients, who were med spas at the time, if I could sit in on their executive meetings. But the catch was they didn't have to pay me more. I just wanted to learn their business more so I could serve them better. Therefore, I was able to actually consult on marketing initiatives that actually got better results. 20% month-over-month growth, taking them from zero to $185,000 a month simply by consulting them better, which led them to invest more per month for my mind and creativity, rather than just doing agency work. If you really think about it, I got paid to learn. Good thing I love learning. I was hesitant to switch to consulting because I love monthly recurring revenue as an agency owner. I'll let that play again because it missed the beginning hook. But does this give you guys more clarity on like the but therefore, and then this whole mechanism? And I'm sure you guys have to rewatch the recording, and I know we're at the 30-minute mark, but so I want to continue, but does it begin to like paint the picture at the very least?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
One question, is that your most successful ad or your most used ad? Or both?
Yeah, it's one of them, 100%, right? It's actually one that I'm using for Scale Back Your Time. Now. So, but I will say I'm always constantly iterating and stuff like that. So, it is successful, but, all I'm saying is I'm trying to A/B test more. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you have another, okay, so how many times have you A/B tested something similar to that?
Literally all of these, all of them.
No, but I mean that specific ad, did you record something that was kind of similar to it, or?
Yeah. So what all of these here, if the question is like, similarity, like all of these ones in the brown, like I created similar scripts, right? But following the same framework. Let me play another. Here's how I'm closing 2 to 3 high-ticket clients every single week, ranging from services from 3K to 10K. I'm using what's called the authority funnel system. It's where I use ads right here on Instagram, using content based on what I'm passionate about to sell people who are like-minded, people that I actually love working with, Actually, that's not one. One sec. Let me find one. This one is it. I was feeling burnt out as an agency owner, so I decided to quit and become a consultant. I made more money, but it was hard for me to let go of the agency because the grind is all I've known for the last 4 years, and I built a 7-figure agency. Therefore, I was half in and half out, but I was still working like a dog managing 40 plus clients who were not paying me enough to grow their business. Therefore, I was constantly thinking about work because I was trading my time for money. I thought I gave that up. So I decided to go all in, and I stopped all my direct response ads. And I focused in on content and attracting whale clients, ones who are actually entrepreneurs and ones who can afford up to $10,000 a month on marketing alone. And I focused on selling my strategy and skill set rather than I'm an all-in-one solution and I do it all. This resulted in increasing my take-home income, and now I actually choose when to work. It's a good thing I quit my agency. I was feeling burnt out as an agency. Does that make more sense, Corey?
Yeah, absolutely. No, and that's kind of what I was getting at is, some of these ads obviously perform better than others.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point of A/B testing. And I just wonder how closely you follow like the same script, same look, same feel kind of thing. Obviously I come from a bit of a marketing background where I'm seeing people that literally use the same style all the time, and that's their brand. Right. So
yeah,
and I kind of come from a place where I think you should vary a little bit.
Yeah. I think honestly, that comes to like personal preference. I'm the person that I'm like, I have an idea of like what converts based off historical data, but true marketers, the definition of marketing is the study of markets. And if I know one thing that holds true is like marketing is forever changing, things are adapting. So I'm the type of person that like jumps headfirst into and tests anything. But that's not necessarily somebody else. So I guess if you're asking me personally, if I see something that resonates with me, I will funnel hack it. And I'll show you how I do that here in this call. I will funnel hack it and test it no matter what it is, just to see.
Perfect.
Thank you. Of course. All right. So creating content at scale. So here's what I do, guys. I just block out a day. And, when I say a day, it's like 2 hours of scripting and filming. So I could just knock it out. And I will say that if you guys utilize the Riverside and interview stuff, it could, you'll have even less time, and that's a good thing, right? So I block out a day, that's it. And at max, for me right now, it's 2 hours. Could be, as you're first starting out, could be, 2 or 3, but just block out a day, because I'm going to speak for myself. When I blocked out like multiple days in an hour, I procrastinated. You know what I mean? But blocking out one day is like, all right, I have one day to do this. Let me just do it. Right? Types of content, again, top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel, long form. And we use ChatGPT to create the content strategy and scripting, right? Keys to a successful authority funnel. So this is where I'm going to give you actionable steps. And then at the end slide, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. But block out one day a week to create at least 4 pieces of content to build your personal brand. Minimum, right? 2 top of funnel, 1 middle of funnel, and these are short form, and then 1 long form. That's it. And I'm going to tell you how to scale that. And it sounds like a lot, but I promise you, this group is called Scale Back Your Time. So I'm not going to give you stuff that sucks your time, right? I'm going to give you things that are necessary evils, quote unquote, but how to stack your efforts so it's not too much time at all, especially if you're in the routine. Does that make sense? Cool beans. Another keys to success for the authority funnel is treat your Instagram, and if you're doing the school funnel, your school pages as the landing pages, your content as your nurturing sequence, right? Again, this is no different than, the Russell Brunson expert secrets, .com secrets, yada, 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 right? Building an email list, opt-in form, nurturing them through email. It's just taking a different form, right? And in the authority funnel, we use, again, top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, mix of short form and long form to nurture. But we're treating, especially if you're doing the profile funnel, right? Likes, comments, engagement, followers as our leads, right? Because we're doing a profile funnel, that's the whole definition of it, and we're using paid ads to remarket to them. But at its core, we are using top of funnel and middle funnel pieces of content once they're in our funnel as nurturing elements to, one, address any limiting belief, why someone would say no. This comes from Alex Hormozy, and to sell people on our services before we say the price. And a lot of times it's high ticket, right? Post your content weekly, ideally daily, but weekly at the bare minimum. You guys have probably noticed that I'm not posting daily, especially this week. You know what I mean? You guys are taking up all my time, which is a good thing, right? I want to be here, but you notice I'm not posting every day this week. So, Francisco, what's going on?
Hey, I had a question about testimonials. If you already have some, how do you create that as a content piece? IG.
I got you, man. It's in the presentation today.
Nice.
Cool. Yes. Cool. Engage with community members daily and prioritize long form nurture. That should say to sell, right? Long form nurture to help you sell. The reason why I say engage with community members is I really hone in on, and we're going to talk about this today, Jeremy Miner's NEPQ. I really, even though he taught that for like traditional sales, I really was like, hey, this will work for content. I'm sure of it. And social, I'm sure of it, right? So I had to test it out first. And the reason why I like the community aspect, I like the content aspect, is because I'm not that pushy dude to sell, even though I was, right? And that built a 7-figure agency for me. The end was just pure insanity in terms of like my time being sucked and, getting the wrong type of clientele, right? Everyone here on this call, I love, right? You guys give me energy. I would rather focus on this, right? So this is why I say engage with the community, prioritize the authority funnel content, because if they understand your value, here's the thing, if they understand your value, the path that you walked along, you can do a better job to get them the results that they are actually looking for. And that you can help them based on kind of what you've done in your life, right? In your online business. It makes it way easier, and you'll get better results if they believe in you. They understand the value. And it sounds pretty, elementary, but we all, I'm sure, have clients right now that are sucking our time, that don't understand they don't understand our worth, that are probably not paying us enough, right? We don't want to stay there. Does that make sense? Cool beans. Another keys to a successful authority funnel is we want to post stories every day, especially if you're running paid ads. Here is why. In the top of funnel Instagram content, right? In the top of funnel Instagram content, this is where we're nurturing. This is where we're educational. We are not typically promotional. There are some instances where we are, but especially if we're driving traffic to our Instagram page. For those of you who are, have been on Instagram for years, what happens when you have a story? What's around your profile? Anyone can tell me? Especially on mobile.
The little rainbow circle?
100%, right? So I'm all about utilizing things, especially from a software standpoint, like Meta, Instagram, they spend billions to give us FOMO, right? There's a book, when I was like in tech, there's a book that the reason why they do things is to elicit, dopamine rushes and to give a fear of missing out, right? So that little ring around your profile pic is that. It's designed to give us a feeling of fear of missing out. So let's utilize that, right? And because we're giving value in our short form content and all that stuff, we can be promotional in our stories, right? So if we are not doing stories in the authority funnel, I'm going to reiterate this, we are leaving money on the table, right? So there's a reason if you go on my stuff, you know, I'm like, hey, there's some spots left, right? DM me, right? For one-on-one. Francisco, you're in here, bro. I just screenshotted your stuff, all right? So I'm like, hey, day 3 of the workshop, woke up to some wins, screenshotted some testimonial stuff, not too late, join now, right? So this is where I can be promotional because I've earned the right as to not be salesy here, but I'm just focusing on value. And if I've done my job right, it's not overbearing at all because I'm leading with value. Make sense, guys? Right? And I recommend doing it as a story. And, you know, for the sake of time, for everyone here, you know, I'm prioritizing doing these calls, and after the workshop, I'll, you know, put into the classroom, put all the links and stuff like that. So just know that. But if you were to implement this like today, I would focus in on crafting a story. Right? If you want to take a screenshot, go ahead. But you can see here, there's a time where I was, you know, busy parents, you're destined to fail. After mentoring 100 plus entrepreneurs, here's the reality. 1% achieve freedom, 60% are, you know, struggling, 20% give up entirely. You know, I'm painting the picture, right? And I'm allowed to do that because I'm leading with value on short form and long form. This is where we can be promotional. And this honestly is where I get a bulk of my sales too.
Jordan, do you have some kind of framework of how you should be posting the stories? Like, if you want to pitch, if you want to put in the link, are you building up that before posting some other things before the stories, or you're just going straight forward and asking them to like do something call to action?
I typically just I'll be honest, I don't put too much emphasis on that because I'm focusing more on like top of funnel, middle funnel stuff. So, you know, I'm just very like, if I think about a promotion, I'll just post it on stories. Not to say that's not a bad idea. I just, me personally, I'm just going to promote because if I think about it too much, I'm not going to do it, right? Because I'm already thinking about content.
I got so much of courage after watching your stories, because I used to think that I cannot post on stories about my courses and my coaching and my services. It will be too pushy, it will be too salesy. But after looking at your stories, it doesn't feel that way. Like if you're putting out value for your viewers and your audience, then if you just put a story, I think it's
yeah.
okay.
Thank you for saying that, right? And I'm going to add on top of that, I try my hardest to keep on iterating on my content to hopefully speak to you directly. And if I speak to you directly in my top of funnel, middle funnel content, then I've earned the right to be more promotional in my stories. If that makes sense. That's what I think anyway and believe. So I must be doing something right. You guys are here, right? So I would prioritize that.
So one thing I would say, I saw your ad to the school. Actually, I went to the school funnel, but I didn't purchase at that moment. Then I followed you on Instagram. Then I saw some of the reels. Then I saw some of the stories, and then I got converted. So that's interesting. Yeah, it is working out.
Yeah. This is why, thank you for sharing. And this is why I don't want to get pigeonholed into like the thing. The authority funnel is the encompassing like all the content, right? So you are part of it. So thank you for sharing, right? Because it validated what I'm teaching. I'm going to fast track it here. See, Yari, like I need to condense it so we have time for Q&A. So I will do that. Francisco, what's up, man?
I can't wait for Q&A if you prefer.
Yeah, I could stay on longer if you guys are down for Q&A. But yeah, so let me go through this and then we can stay on a little longer, right? So keys to a successful authority funnel. We run paid ads through the entire buying cycle, right? And especially when we're using the profile funnel, remember, top of funnel ad to Instagram page, we're using profile views to remarketing. And this is where we can say, hey, DM me grow, or check out this long form piece of content, right? We utilize those assets, and we're going to get to this on Thursday on how I structure that. But I'm just communicating that paid ads is a part of the authority funnel. It leads to genuine conversations. And as long as we're giving value throughout the entire framework, you'll wake up to DMs saying, hey, how can I work from you? Or how can I work with you, right? We want to follow up with using long form pieces of content, right? Because we're already creating middle of funnel pieces of content that's already addressing limiting beliefs, why someone would say no. It makes appointment setting and, selling easier on DMs, so you can close on DMs by just sending the YouTube video. And it's a more of a, hey, do you want this or not? Because they understand the values you bring. They understand the consulting blueprint that you guys have crafted in module 1, and you've communicated that on a middle of funnel YouTube piece of content. It makes it way easier to close in the DMs. Make sense? Okay. Leveraging ChatGPT. I've said this in the previous modules, and even in this call, utilize it. If you're not legitimately asking it everything, you'll be doing yourself a disservice, right? So I use it for literally everything. Everything that you see in the workshops here, ChatGPT. I'm like, I need your help to formulate my ideas because I have ADHD and I'm not going to do this myself. Please help me, right? Please. So, an example would be to leverage books and authors, and we talked about this before, but an example prompt could be, act as if you were Alex Hormozi, reference the book $1 Million Leads, and create a content strategy for my authority funnel. And I've given you a screenshot of me just doing just that, right? Again, it works 1000% better if you're utilizing the same ChatGPT instance that you were using the whole time, especially in this course or community. It just gives better context, so Alex Hormozi can help you out himself, right? Utilizing existing content. This is the one thing that I wanted to communicate with you guys and how I'm scaling my content creation using ChatGPT. So I don't know if you guys know Dan Bolton, but what I do is I look at other gurus, right? Ones that I look up to, ones that I know that are converting in terms of a VSL, or could even be an Instagram short form piece of content. What I do is I download it, I use Slack to transcribe it, and then I ask ChatGPT to say, hey, follow this same framework. Don't copy what he's saying, like his elements of that, but take what I've given you based off my consulting blueprint, based on what I'm offering, and create the similar framework as this individual, so I can say it, right? Just to show face, I'm just gonna, I think this will be a good instance.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So you say that obviously you find videos, right, of ones you kind of want to get inspiration from. So when you say by download, is it more like you literally download it, or you just copy the link and then post it into ChatGPT?
Oh no, I download it. I'll show you. So I'll play a little bit of his.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so in this video, no edits, no fancy camera angles. I'm going to walk you through my 1.5 million a year profit business, in which every hour I work.
So I take it, copy, I search for YouTube downloader, right? I pop it in here. I pop it in here. And if someone has an easier process, let me know. I pop it in here, I download it. Be careful, if you're on a PC, be careful not to click anything weird. I'm on a Mac, makes things way easier. But I download it, and if you guys don't have a transcription, if you guys don't have a transcription software, the easiest thing that I found to do is Slack. Right, so like if you upload the just pure raw file of the video, it transcribes it for you. You guys see that? And then what I do is I just go to ChatGPT and I say, hey, utilize this script and come up with a script for myself. So if you look at mine, and this is one of the best ones that I've done that's led to like, a lot of sales, and I was burnt out. Right, clients were messaging me at $100 a month in the last 120 days while only working 15 hours a week. In this video, I'm not doing any fancy edits. I'm actually just reading off my iPad. So you see here that I've emulated his script. I've emulated the positioning of like, hey, I'm not going to do anything crazy or fancy. I'm just going to speak raw, So I've literally, I don't want to say copied, but I funnel hacked and iterated and, made it my own on top of a script that I know that is already converting. Does that make sense, guys? And that's how I'm like scaling back my time with content. Any questions on that?
I want to add one thing here.
Yeah.
You can just go in the description and you can download the transcript from there.
Oh, you can?
You
Oh, great. Oh, you saved me time. Hey, thank you. That's what the group is about. So
there is one extension also, which will just gonna give you the transcript with just one click. You can just click copy and you can paste it in ChatGPT. I'll share that plugin also.
hey, Rajdeep for the win here. He's giving you back your time, guys. Give him a thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you. Alrighty, I'm going to fast track here because I know we're coming up on time and I want to save it for some questions, right? Tools for content creation. We already went over this. Riverside for interviews. Recording with professional cameras. Screen recording software like Loom and iPhone. The reason why I put this is we want a good content mix. And I tell like my clients the same thing is we don't know what is converting on a psychographic level for your target demographic. And just because my professional stuff is converting for me doesn't mean that it will convert for you, because you guys remember the whole authority funnel strategy is you're the offer, right? So those are different things entirely. Think about it as, I'm me, Francisco, you're you. Those are two different offers, right? So we want to test out different, editing styles, different filming styles, right? Professional, iPhone-esque quality, because we just don't know. But when we do run paid ads, we use paid ads as a proxy to uncover what types of content frameworks are converting for us. Does that make sense? Cool beans. Going back into the Riverside makes things way easy. And again, I encourage you guys to interview each other. Corey made a post in there that I mentioned in the beginning of this call, where if you guys interview each other, use Riverside, 20 pieces of content in an hour, 40 pieces of content total, right? That I usually get from my clients. Game changer. Industry specific insights. So we talked about on this call, like using ChatGPT to reference specific books, right? To have literally the offers give us insights automatically, right? Because all ChatGPT is it's just a snapshot of the internet. And if there are books, especially like if you're like buying books on like how to run clinics like I am, I'm willing to bet if there's an ebook, it's already in ChatGPT. So we can say, hey, like this person is her name is Kelly Smith. I could be like, hey, reference the book Top 10 Profit Killers for Plastic Surgeons and Medical Spas by Kelly Smith. and give me a psychographic profile of a typical med spa clinic coder in relation to my authority funnel, right? And then also calling directly. Prav in the group did this. My story is I called like literally 30 med spas around my local area and outside my local area, just saying, hey, my name is Jordan. I'm a marketing student. I'm just trying to get an A, right? For my master's. Can you just give me can you answer these 3 questions? They like literally gave me the world, right? Prav did it and he's crushing it. So that's another, trick, or I should say tool for insights, right? Francisco, this is for you, man. Screenshots of testimonials, right? This goes into just having genuine conversations with your clients, engaging with them, right? So if they tell you a win, just screenshot it. Screenshot it, right? And that's what you would use for your testimonials, right? We could use this to create Twitter-like posts on Canva for Instagram. Again, I'm going to give you guys the template when I put this into the classroom. And we can leverage testimonial videos using testimonial.to. That's what I used. Using these 3 questions, which have literally built a 7-figure business for me. Who are you? What was your results with working with me? And if someone was on the fence, what would you say to them? Because the last one, quite frankly, is scaling word of mouth marketing. And a pro tip that I use is I use those videos as my ads. So now I am scaling back my time to scale word of mouth marketing. Make sense?
You frame it, you only take that video, run the ad directly to it, or just post it as is on your IG profile, or do you maybe add a little intro video with a hook maybe, and then transition into the testimonial?
It depends based off your KPI. So what I typically do is I use testimonials for more so middle of funnel. After like my top of funnel, like, hey, follow me and scroll through my past content, or, DM me grow, right? It's more so of a marketing thing. So I can either push them to my School About page or book a call with me, depending on what type of funnel that you're using. But I typically just use the testimonial, and I use it as a remarketing tool.
That's a golden nugget.
Cool. Of course. And then the Twitter-like post. Again, I'm just using a Canva template that I'm just popping in a screenshot in there, which you guys can use, right? And then testimonial.to just makes things way easier for testimonials. People can leave a testimonial, and then also you can upload your own, right? And it just makes things simpler all in one spot. I recommend it. The cool thing about it is if you're doing any landing pages too, you can put in an embed code and then it's all there. The reason why I like it is, I'm accustomed to the old school way of like GHL and like uploading it all the time, or duplicating a landing page. And then it's like, oh my gosh, right? At least this one is like all in one spot. And as people give you a testimonial, if you're using an embed code, wherever that embed code is, it's just on the landing page. Makes things like super simple. Again, getting back your time, right? Alrighty, last one, right? Step-by-step content creation process, and then we'll ask some questions, and then I got a break to create the slide deck for your next call, right? Top of funnel video scripts. We want to use ChatGPT, right? So an example prompt: create 9 pieces of top of funnel content for my authority funnel in the context of your niche. And it can be as simple as that if you give in the context this whole time, right? So 9 pieces of top of funnel pieces of content before you launch your profile funnel, right? Middle funnel video scripts. Example, create 3 pieces of middle funnel piece of content for my authority funnel in the context of your niche, right? Again, to launch the profile funnel, all I'm asking you guys to do is 2, right? 1, that addresses any limiting beliefs, why someone would say no, and one VSL, which we'll get here, right? One carousel image post for remarketing, and that's just stuff like this, where I use typically for remarketing, right? At the end, it's an ask. Oop, am I not sharing my screen or no?
I see it.
Oh, Keelan says I'm not. Is that true for everybody or not? Okay.
Yes, was it?
Okay. Okay, cool. Where was I? Oh, pre-sale video scripts, right? If you guys remember from yesterday, you guys already have a landing page that you can house your pre-sale video sales letter, right? So it's a video that just tells them what that call is. Optimize your IG and YouTube. We went over this a little bit yesterday, but we want to optimize the bio based off the offers that you do, right? And then give a link to your middle of funnel piece of YouTube content in the link in the bio, as well as creating just what you do, right? In your YouTube profile. And again, I will give you the Canva template to create a thumbnail, but don't put too much emphasis on it. Just say what you do. That's it, right? Film content, edit content, and to edit content, we talked about this yesterday too. You could use free tools like CapCut, which if you do the paid version, you could do overlay text. You could do it yourself, and I use Final Cut Pro. Or the person that edits my videos is in this group, so if you want to use him, let me know, and I'll put you guys in contact, right? Sign up for tools like Calendly, GHL, and create that pre-sale landing page. And I'm fast-tracking this here because I know we're a little over. Is this pretty clear to everybody based off what we went over today? Cool beans. Pro tip 2, run a workshop. That's the easiest way that I found to create content because it causes you to create things on a time frame, and you got to do it, right? So for instance, I got to do the next call, and the slide deck is not 100% completed, which is why I'm going to break off here after some Q&A, but you're still going to get the value. I promise you, right? So any questions before we break? Francisco, what's up, man?
Yeah, super simple question. When you're doing your stories, how do you design the thing? You do it straight from your phone in IG, or you use Canva or something?
I typically just do it on IG. But I will say if you do it on like Canva, it'd probably be easier because you can create a template and stuff like that. But I typically just do it on IG.
I really love how you use like multiple pictures to kind of tell a story. I really love that. And it's kind of, I never had that mindset when using the stories feature. I'm not like, it's hard for me to map out what I'm going to say for the next 5 pictures or whatever. But now,
honestly, bro, I would prioritize your thought process on mapping it out on short form and long form. Stories, and this came from Moser Bunsen, I believe, but stories should be like the behind the scenes. I think he like classifies that as that's your reality show. So it can be informal, it can be off the cuff, right? So
right, yeah. It's just a gravy on top. So basically focus on those 4 pieces of content every week and add like multiple stories.
Yeah, man. Those are your reps, right? And especially for you specifically, if you're still doing cold outreach, right? That will only help you because they might be like, who's Francisco messaging me? They go in the profile, and again, holds true for ads as well. We have milliseconds to like communicate our value, unfortunately, right? And if we built out our authority funnel and we treat our Instagram page as our landing page, and you specifically are doing outbound outreach on IG, that can only help you, right? Cool beans. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one. Actually,
Yeah.
Jordan, I was thinking to start the new funnel Then if I want to start the new account, Instagram account, I already have an account where I have like 5,000-6,000 followers. But I just want to keep that audience for my old funnel.
Okay.
So if I start a new funnel, like how should I brand it? Should I personal brand it, or should I create like some kind of course or coaching consultancy kind of
Personal brand.
personal brand?
So
Okay.
I'm going to say two things. Like, you guys are the offer, right? And the reason why I push that so hard is based off my personal story, right? I sold my 7-figure agency, was appointed CMO of an Inc. 5000 company, got them the $450K a month. And even with those accolades, I was like, nah, man, I don't like this. Like, I don't have time with my family. Let me go back to consulting. And my saving grace was throughout this whole entire process, I was always running ads, even from when I was doing my Done For You agency, from my personal profile. So no matter like my journey, they look at me as the person that they're buying into, not like, my agency was called Client Swipe. So it wasn't that, it was me. So that's my saving grace. And how I can if I wanted to do something new, I can get sales quickly because I'm the offer. It's not the thing. That make sense?
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I think people would more connect with the personal brand
100%.
as compared to, yeah.
100%. Yeah. Hopefully that was helpful, guys.
Jordan, is it true that if you run Facebook, Instagram or Facebook ad from that account, and if you are posting organic content, the organic content doesn't reach, the reach of that doesn't work well? Is it true? I've heard somewhere.
That I can't tell you, just because I tend to focus on authority funnel content, which paid ads is a large portion of that. I don't know 100%, to be honest with you. I'm not going to steer you in the wrong direction. Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions, guys? Before we break?
Break.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Hopefully that was valuable to you, and I will see you here in less than an hour. Cool?
Super valuable.
Thank you. See you guys.